Um, this video is going to be about Irish people and how happy they are. So Irish people, when they fill in happiness questionnaires, score higher than the English. But are they really happier than the English? I don't think so. English people score much lower in happiness than the Irish. The Germans score, I think, lower, and it doesn't really matter, or similar to English, and French lower again, but then Danish and the Scandinavian countries higher, and then the highest is like Finland, right? And people have correlated this with other things as well, and try to explain it that way. So Irish people tend to think they're happy, but they're not happy. Irish people's happiness is quite similar to Spanish people's happiness. It's not real. It's a thing, I think, called defensive extroversion. Irish people have happiness and smiles in a defensive manner, and that's what's actually going on here. They like to have this vacuous happiness going on, and they're very Americanized. And I think this is because I notice in countries and in small group settings that when people are confronted with intellectual things, they have a defense mechanism of becoming very happy or jolly or lowering the conversation to vacuous cliches. Or some young Irish fellas, they think they're black. They start dancing around like 50 Cent, and rapping. That's their defense mechanism. Like, you're talking 90 to 100 IQ people. This is how they respond to any sort of intellect. But before you say anything intellectual, they don't act like that. So it shows you that their extroversion is defensive in these small scenarios. And I think that's nationwide, because why are the French so miserable? Well, because they're superior. Their culture's superior to everyone around them. I think the French have the most exquisite culture in Europe, don't they? And then, so it's the same with England. England has a huge culture compared to Ireland in the history and achievement. So they've no need to have fake happiness. They don't have to bolster their ego and cover up the cracks with a smile. In Spain, the northern part of Spain, they're higher in IQ. The Basque people, they're very miserable. They don't smile. They don't fake smile anyway. And then you go to the south, their average IQ is 90 or something. So there's nearly 7 or 8 point IQ gap, and they're known for being happy and jolly and having character. So this contrast exists everywhere in Europe, I think. Irish people are happy and jolly like the southern Spanish are to the northern Spanish in relation from Ireland to England, and then England to France, because French have a superior culture than to the English. Maybe I'm using the wrong words, but they have a higher culture and a higher history of culture than the English. To the English, sorry. American grammar. God, that's a mistake. Higher than, or no, more superior than. That's bad grammar. More superior to. Yeah. So and it stands for the Scandinavian countries. Like Sweden has more cultural achievements than the Finnish. So the Finnish are happier. The Danish have fewer cultural achievements than the Germans. So the Finnish or the Danish and the Scandis are happier than the Germans. It's purely a defense mechanism. That's the source of the happiness. And that's it.